Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Huckleberries, Day 4. This is Jennifer Dubell Huckleberry, and I'm Tyler Huckleberry, and we're in love.
Is that our tagline now?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cute.
that's our little intro.
I like it. You're good at the intro. I like you doing the intro.
Now I'll drink coffee.
Do you want me to pick the on the spot topic?
If you want to.
What in life inspires you the most?
What in life inspires me the most?
What things? It doesn't have to be one thing, but what either inspires you artistically or to do something you're passionate about. It's open-ended, but I think it's a good one because I feel like you and I are both very passionate people, and maybe people want to know where that comes from.
I would say my family. Next question.
That quickly? You don't want to?
What about you?
I get very excited by other art. If I go to a play, excuse me, if we go to a museum, when I watch my fashion shows, I get really excited by other people's passions, and then I pick and choose things from them to drive me. So I'm very encouraged by other people's works of art, and it's cool when I'm able to incorporate what I learned from them into something artistically that I'm doing. You don't like the inspiration question? Sorry, this is why we usually pick one ahead of time. So
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just
think about it.
I just don't. I don't have much in me right now. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, we had the debates this week.
That's where you want to go with this?
That was embarrassing on a world stage. But that's all I want to say.
Than 5 minutes. I couldn't.
That's all I want to say about that, I guess.
I couldn't watch it much longer.
I got short answers this morning.
That's okay. I can try and come up with questions, or we can use our handy dandy thought provoker if we need to. Is there anything, trying to just stay in the same vein, that you've been inspired to do lately? I can start it off while you think about it. Even though people that I care about were understandably weary because they're protective of me, I'm really excited about the opportunity to see if I'm good at costuming with the fall play. I've helped on numerous occasions with costuming for a long time. Either with the shows I've directed or backstage with the shows that I'm in, befriending and the costumers and such. And when you direct a show, you have to be hands-on with that as well. And in the past couple of years, just helping behind the scenes where there's been just tiny gaps, because I like to help. But we all know I've always been obsessed with fashion. And so I'm excited to put that towards something officially.
Yeah, you'll be great.
And I've already pulled 3 or 4 racks worth of stuff, which is funny because obviously we haven't even started officially yet, but it was exciting while I was cleaning out the costume closet to pull potential pieces. And I like to organize too. Just the act of, this is the elf rack, and this is the hobbit rack, and this is the dwarf rack. Just the organizing it, and even if some of the pieces aren't used, just the maybe is exciting too. And it's fun being a costumer because you have to be flexible, because ultimately it comes down to the director's inspiration. and I had my first taste of it. I shared it with you, but I think it's a cute story. I was really excited about this one vest, and I thought it was like perfect for this one character. I liked the way it felt. I loved the designs on it. I liked the way it worked with the jacket that the director wanted to use. I brought him in, and he just no. I was like, okay, that's okay. We don't need to use this vest, and that's an important part, I think, of being a creative and working with other creatives is you have to be flexible to their vision. And it's like, okay, that's okay. We have more vests. But that was funny. That was just a funny moment for me because I was so excited about this one vest, and it just wasn't the whole vision, and that's okay. But I also, besides getting inspired by other people's works, I'm very excited for his passion for what he's about to direct. That's exciting to see other people being really passionate and inspired about something. It's something to feed off of for me. I don't know if you artistically on the music end, if it's the same thing, if you feed off of other people's passions and interests, or is it only just like your own?
Well, I'm not in music.
You're very grumpy today.
I ordered a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a half groat from Henry VIII.
Is that older than your other coin?
Depends on which one you're talking about.
Your oldest
But
coin.
it's from like 1530, and it's right before it was circulating during when Henry VIII was trying to get an annulment from the church from Catherine, his first wife,
I was just going to ask which one was
and
that.
so that he could marry Anne Boleyn.
Who he killed too, right?
Well, yeah, he killed her, but the church wouldn't offer him an annulment, so what he did was
Can you make a new
take
coin?
down the church. It started the English Reformation. All over seeing
Is the
a
coin
girl that he's obsessed with.
tied to that?
Yeah, it's got his face on the front.
I didn't know if that coin was like propaganda for him to make more money to
No, it was just
to
2 pence.
fund
It was
that, or if
it was two
just...
pennies at the time, half groat. Shillings were called testoons back then. So cool.
They may not know that you're into coins. Tyler likes coins. I like fashion. I like to collect clothes. You like to collect coins.
Some. I don't have a lot. But I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm. It was actually really cool when we went to the Boston Museum and we got to see... I know that I was joking because I was like, are you excited? Because it'd be the same thing as me in the Egyptian section. But that was cool. That section was cool. Because you see sometimes a small section of historical coins, but that was a whole room.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
And what I do in a museum is compare them, like the condition and everything, with what I have. So if mine's better, I'm like, cool.
You have your own little museum exhibit yourself. But I think I walked into it before you. I was like, the Boston Museum was a great museum. That was really, really cool. What to share with other people, even though I know, why are you excited by coins? Why do you like to collect them? Why is that an interest or an intrigue for you?
Well, it's started with my grandmother. As a kid, she passed on a portion of her coin collection to me before she passed, and like it wasn't her best stuff, like, but it was always something I was interested in of hers whenever she'd show me. So we connected there, and it feels like, one of the few family traditions I have, and I just kind of built on it over the years. And I'm sorry, what was the question again? I
No,
had
that you
something else.
did it. What started you in that? Why are you interested in it?
Why am I interested though is more, it's morphed into, rather than pretty coins as a kid, it's morphed into collecting stories,
Yeah.
historical stories. So I know what happened during this time period that this coin was circulating, and I don't know, it just feels, you feel connected. At least I do.
I like the most recent ones that you've bought when you explained to me the stories, since I like the ancient history type stuff,
Yeah.
and so that's very intriguing to me.
I know you like your documentaries, but
Yeah.
I like studying based around different coins, because then I can kind of feel like I have a little piece of what was there at that time, and that's
Exciting.
cool to me.
Yeah, and people don't think about how much coins and such traveled too when the world's nations started trading with one another, and that's very interesting as well too, because there was such a long period of time where there wasn't as much really far travel, because of limited resources or ways to do that. But then when travel became more widespread, how coins and trade came into play. And
It's kind of crazy that it's only been 400 years that it's been longer than that for ships to go, but it hasn't been a lot longer. Like, people didn't do long sea trips. I mean, we think of pirates and stuff, but generally they stayed along the coast or offshore so they wouldn't get caught. But once international trade came in, it was,
well, it could have been the fear
hasn't-
of the unknown too. Like, how big is the
Well,
ocean? Are we actually ever going to hit land? And
I'm sure that's where, like, flat Earth and falling off the edge, it was very possible to them, even though there were true theories that had come out about the Earth being round, like the moon and everything, but people were still scared. And sea monsters, like, we didn't know about all the whales that were in the ocean, so when they popped up, it was like, dude, what are we doing out here?
Kraken.
yeah.
Attacking ships.
But
Well, also too, because the history that I'm into is ancient history, Egypt and a little bit of Rome, more ancient Egypt and ancient Greek, but I'd be curious to learn more about, other than obviously with England, when people wanted to start moving farther and reasons why. Like, why civilizations stayed where they were for so long, only expanding right around their area.
well, I mean, you got Genghis Khan. He went all over, just wrecked stuff.
But it still was in, even though it was a huge area, it wasn't overseas.
Well, his descendants definitely went overseas.
So that part of history, I'd be intrigued to learn a little bit more about. That birdie is so loud.
He's, it's they say that there's a portion of our genetics that are from Genghis Khan, because he just went and raped and pillaged and destroyed so many
I don't know as much as
that
the story.
he's actually got the most descendants. Like,
That's interesting.
people are connected to him just because he was taking over the world at that time.
It's been fun, and I've been excited that you've watched one or two with me. How Netflix has been doing the different stories on Alexander the Great and Cleopatra and different things. because I like that type of documentary the most, where they mix in acting and, you know, what they think the places looked like and makeup and costumes and all of that with telling the story about the history. I find that absolutely fascinating. And I think if we get to travel in the future, like we're hoping to when the boys are older, I think it'd be fascinating to see an older library. Because there are still scattered throughout things from the Library of Alexandria and such. No, I don't think everything was lost. And just those types of things from the ancient world also really fascinate me. I really liked watching the documentary on some of the ancient scrolls that were developed into the Bible and such like that. That type of stuff is really fascinating when we got to the point in society that we were writing down things that were able to be kept, because a lot of the original writing was written on things that didn't last the test of time, you know. And it's pretty cool that the reason why we have so much from Egypt was, one, from them painting on everything, and two, the dry sand, like burying papyri in the sand and such, and how that survived. And other areas not so much, because it couldn't stand the test of time, you know. I find all of that absolutely fascinating. I like history a lot. We've actually already almost finished already, because I said that for 6 minutes extra. Is there anything you want to wrap this one up with?
Be kind.
I thought you were going to be like, coins are cool.
Be kind. And
My brain went right to, what was the video? Be kind, please rewind.
yeah, that was a Jack Black movie. That wasn't that great.
No, not the movie. That was what was on all of the videos from Blockbuster.
Yeah, he also did a movie with Mos Def.
Oh.
That was called Be Kind.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of a movie.
Yeah, be kind to each other. A lot of people are miserable for different reasons. Be kind. It's not hard. So, that's it. That's all I got.
Yay. Learn about history.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good one.